Master Bravo here to review the Alchemy of Souls episode number 17, where Mu-Deok is sacrificed on the Jin Ice Cross. You have to realize that 30 years ago, when movies and TV shows were made, 25, 30 years ago, the Mu-Deok Naksu character would have been a male way back when. Would have been a male character. But since we are now enlightened, it's 30 years later and the world is enlightened, and the writers of this wonderful show are women, so the hero character is a female, making it much harder to visualize the Jesus Christ metaphor of Mu-Deok being sacrificed and hung on the invisible cross of Lady Jin. We will get there at the end of this episode. How ironic that Lady Jin is unknowingly sacrificing her child in much the same way that they tell us God sacrificed his son Jesus. So in the beginning of episode number 17, Jin-Uk finally meets his father by accident, and they have a decent little conversation, but he has no idea that he's talking to his father, this man in ragged clothes. Apparently he's a drunk, and this is his father. And they're talking, and the father seems logical. He's trying to teach his son, but he's not telling the son that, hey, I'm your father, because it's not time, I guess. So he's out in this outer town where sorcery is practiced, and it's sort of a dangerous place to be for mages. And the father's telling him, be careful, because if you come here, your life is in danger. They have a pretty good conversation. The father leaves, and he has no idea that he just talked to his father. That's how the show begins. So episode 17 is all about bringing the ice stone out, and they have a plan to do that. And the plan involves bringing out Bouillon. The plan involves Lady Jin, and he's the guy orchestrating it. Jin Mu is the man manipulating and orchestrating the whole thing. So Lady Jin has been played by her half-brother Jin Mu. Jin Mu has tricked Lady Jin into believing this fake blind girl is her lost eldest daughter Bouillon. Lady Jin is going to start a fight with Sungrim and help Jin Mu expose the ice stone to the public, and this is all being manipulated by Jin Mu, and Lady Jin is kind of being forced into it. And then the fighting begins, and when all 12 families are fighting to get the ice stone power, I mean, this makes Jin Mu happy because it's they're not going to listen to Songrim anymore. So this is about it. Here's the fake Jin Bouillon. But Jin Bouillon is also, she's already figured out that the person she's supposed to be, see, she's a fake, but the real Bouillon is actually Mu-Deok, and this fake has already figured it out, so she's sort of like Judas. When you're talking about the Jesus story, where Jesus was betrayed by Judas, well, this fake girl, I think her name is Soyai or something like that, the fake Bouillon, she knows that Mu-Deok is the real Bouillon, but she doesn't tell anybody. She doesn't tell her mother, so she's actually betraying Mu-Deok in the same way that Judas betrayed Jesus. Well, like I said, Lady Jin has been played by her half-brother Jin Mu, but she starts to get a little suspicious because she thinks there's something different about this girl, and she figures it out by the ear. The ears are different. This fake Bouillon doesn't have the same ears as her real daughter has that she remembers. But, well, she's starting to suspect that. But Jin Mu says, you will just blindly accept this girl as your daughter, and we will give you the gift of the ice stone. And it gets pretty complicated, but Lady Jin, again, starts to do what her half-brother Jin Mu tells her to do, because she seems to be forced into it, and she's going to start a fight with Songrim here, and they're going to have a big meeting with all 12 families, and there's going to be a ruckus and a fight over the ice stone. It's going to get pretty tense. So next comes a part I really like is where Mu-Deok starts pounding on the drum and her young master steps up to the plate. You see all the families have been fighting up until this point, and then finally Jun-Uk says it's time for me to step up to the plate. And like I said, I love this part where Mu-Deok is beating on the drum and he walks in before the big families and he's going to tell them the secret about what the original founder of the family, the founder of this whole, what did he want to do with the ice stone? And Master Lee informed Jun-Uk that the answer is in that book that he wrote. There's some invisible book that the founder wrote. It's a poem. And anyhow, Jun-Uk sets him straight. All right, it's time for another Jesus metaphor. Remember, Jesus served wine to the 12 disciples in the Last Supper. And here we have Mu-Deok serving tea to the 12 families before she is going to be sacrificed. Many Jesus metaphors in this show, episode number 17. So the king's excited. He wants to see the power of this ice stone. And he said, I must see it for myself. So now the king starts to show his true colors. He's arrogant. He's selfish. He wants to kill somebody, and then he wants this lady, Lady Jin, to bring that person back to life. Lady Jin says, well, there's nobody dead here. I mean, the king says, well, you're going to have to kill somebody. And the queen behind him, it was a fake queen, she's laughing. They're all laughing. Yes, we're going to kill somebody and bring them back to life because I am the king. And this is where the king is making a huge mistake because he picks the maid, Mu-Deok, to kill. He knows not what he's doing. I can tell you that right now. He knows not what he does. Another Jesus metaphor. Now, this is where you might be a little shocking because when the king asked Mu-Deok, are you fearful? Do you mind if we kill you and then bring you back to life with the ice stone? Now, any normal person would say, God damn no, king, you ain't going to kill me. But this is where it's shocking because Mu-Deok, she so easily agrees to be killed when the king asks her. And you'll be shocked. But then when you really start to think about it, I guess we should not be shocked because she's not afraid to die. Because Nok-Su, the shadow assassin, has already died before and she's already come back to life. So, but in reality, the truth is Nok-Su already poisoned Jun-Uk in a flash of a moment. She pushed her young master to death so many times without even blinking, so it makes sense that Nok-Su, the assassin, would gamble her life in a New York second if it meant getting what she wanted. And that's what she's doing. By dying and being brought back to life, she's thinking, yes, this is how I'm going to get my hands on the ice stone. This gives Nok-Su a chance of regaining her powers. And as an added bonus, what does Nok-Su fear the most? Okay, she's already shifted souls into Mu-Deok's body. What does Nok-Su fear the most? And that would be she fears running wild and turning into stone, being petrified like her father was. That's what she fears the most. It terrifies her to run wild. By dying right now and being brought back to life with the ice stone, this gives her a chance to escape that horrible death. And we're talking about Mu-Deok actually being hung up on the Jin Ice Cross and dying for, you see the Jesus metaphor here? So let's close this review down. Lady Jin says, I'll try to make it as painless as possible. Nok-Su, the assassin, says, they're not here to see me die. They're here to see me come back to life. So, please bring me back to life. She didn't say please. Bring me back to life so no one here is disappointed. Lady Jin says, okay, well, let's not disappoint anybody. Let's get this rolling. And then Judas says, look at this. A mother's going to be killing her own child. And that's exactly what Lady Jin does. People are scared of this Lady Jin. She's a priestess of high powers, and everybody's scared of her. Even Mu-Dogi said that one time. Mu-Dogi told that to her daughter. I'm not as scared of you, but I am scared of your mother. And this is the end where it gets shocking. Lady Jin is actually killing her own daughter, Bouillon. And Bouillon comes out and says, "Mother," and Lady Jin is shocked. She has just killed her own daughter. So after Mu-Dogi, aka Naksu, aka Bouillon, is killed, all hell is breaking loose, for they know not what they're doing. Mu-Dogi hanging on the Jin Ice Cross.